the off chance that I might have cancer was the most frightening thing. I'm a hero. Hey everyone, my name is Marilyn and welcome back welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I'm happy to have you. I have gotten a lot of subscribers recently, which is crazy because I haven't been filming anything, but I'm so happy to have you here. Welcome to my channel. I am at my mom's house, that's why like my background looks different. Practically I'm in Shags, up country for those of you who don't speak Swahili. I felt more comfortable being here than I did being in Nairobi, and so there's going to be a lot of noise in this video. I also don't have my lights, so I'm using the natural light. If the lighting is crazy, do bear with me. There's going to be noise in the background, chickens, kids, construction, a lot is happening, but I just really wanted to do this video, and it's something that has been heavy on my mind and on my heart for quite a while, especially the whole of last year. The main reason why I didn't film is because I was dealing with complications sort of due to PCOS, and I want to get into that. Originally I wanted to do this video as a talk through, but my anxiety will not let me prosper. I can't mentally fathom just like sitting down and talking to you guys about like something that is so heavy to me. I need my hands to be moving so that I don't make this video very awkward. So that's why I've decided I'm going to do a makeup tutorial as I talk about PCOS. Everything that I use, all the makeup, everything, it's not going to be a talk through, but everything that I do use is going to be down in the description box. I won't mention it. It's really hot here, so I'm like perspiring. My hands are clean. I've washed my hands. I have washed my hands a lot. Let's just jump right into this. This condition, polycystic ovarian syndrome, in short form PCOS. PCOS is a hormonal disorder that causes enlarged ovaries with small cysts on its outer layer. I want to say 20 years old is when I first noticed I had irregular periods. I'd go for 4 to 5 months without my periods. There was the time I generally thought I was pregnant. I was so scared. After 5 months my periods came, and I was like, obviously I wasn't pregnant. I had PCOS, I just didn't know. And then it just became a regular thing. Like I would miss my periods for 2 months. I'd miss my periods for 3 months. The most I have missed my periods, I think I went half a year without my periods, and I just came to accept what it wasn't. Randomly I was having a conversation with my father, and we were just talking about periods, and I told him, oh, by the way, I don't even have like issues for periods. Like when my periods do come, I get really bad cramps, but I just generally don't have my periods for like 3 to 4 months. And he was like, that doesn't sound normal. We should go get that checked. I'm not quite sure when exactly, but I want to say around when I was 21 to 23 years old. Around that time period is when I went to the hospital and did some tests, and that's when they discovered I have PCOS, and they told me what to do. They told me, you have to lose weight, you have to keep healthy, but diet, avoid your carbs, your sugars and all that. But I did not take them seriously. I was like, ooh, okay, but chips is bae. More time went on, I started noticing that the condition was kind of getting worse. I started having facial hair. I've mentioned this in passing to you guys, but I do actually have to shave my face. I have hormonal acne on my chin, and something I'm very, very self-conscious about is my little stub. I do grow a beard, and I normally shave, or like I pluck them with a tweezer, and I do this weekly or after 3 days. It bothers me so much, and I start scratching. These scars are from me practically scratching. Like I can't stop touching my chin when I feel like I have hair growing. Like it triggers me so much. So when you have PCOS, your hair grows in abnormal places that it wouldn't normally grow if you're a woman. For instance, some people get facial hair, some people get hair on their chest, and the reason why this happens is because of this group of hormones called androgens. What androgens are a group of hormones that play a role in male traits and reproductive activity, so body odor, hair, that kind of stuff. Some people even have like male pattern baldness. Another thing I noticed is I gained an excessive amount of weight in a span of like a few months. I ballooned, but at the time I honestly just thought that I was just eating badly and I needed to eat better. Other symptoms include acne and oily skin. Like I mentioned, I do have acne, but only on my chin. The rest of my face, it's pretty fine, but my chin is where it just goes ham. Low libido, difficulty giving birth or with fertility. That's because of the irregular ovulation period or even lack of, ovulating in general. Fatigue, hair loss, pelvic pain. PCOS signs and symptoms tend to be more severe if you're obese. You have a higher chance of type 2 diabetes. You also have a higher chance of getting high blood pressure, high cholesterol. You also have a higher chance of not conceiving at all. You can also get cancer in the uterine lining as well as sleep apnea, depression. I'm also doing the bottom of my eye. It's not supposed to happen. Also might be helpful to note that not everyone with PCOS has an issue with having cysts in their ovaries. It looks so pretty. I almost don't want to do what I intended to do with this eye look. Like, it looks so pretty as is. I don't take any medicine for my PCOS. I really want to do this the natural way up until I don't have an option but to do it using super duper assistance. So I've been trying to fix the condition by myself at home. I haven't been trying to go and get medication or anything like that. The best way to deal with PCOS, especially if you are obese or on the heavier side, is behavioral changes, diet, exercise. It has the best impact of reducing the effects of PCOS or even just like getting rid of it entirely. I have met people who had PCOS and have managed to have children, people who had PCOS and no longer have PCOS, and one of the major things that they did tell me they did was to lose weight. So if you are on the heavier side, it is advised for you to lose weight. So I have been trying to do that. My weight would seesaw. I would lose a ton of weight just to gain it back and then some and then lose it again. It's really, really hard and depressing and annoying. It just really, really defeats you and it gets to you when you try so hard to do something and then, like I mentioned before, you gaining weight with PCOS has nothing to do with the amount of food that you eat. It's just your insulin in your body. I never used to understand why people would say like losing weight is a battle, but I do now. It literally has been a battle for me. Very, 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 very difficult battle. I hope to win and succeed sometime soon. Other ways of treating PCOS are also taking birth control pills. I don't take birth control pills because, one, I would like to have a child. I don't want to risk permanently not being able to have kids. I genuinely feel like one of the reasons why I got PCOS in the first place was because of birth control pills. Around 2021, that's when I started taking birth control pills, and it kind of messed me up. But they do subscribe. They do. Wow, YouTube is so inside my system. They do actually suggest that you take birth control pills because birth control pills help you regulate your periods and hopefully regulate your ovulation cycle and things like that. So for me, I did notice that if I did take them and then I stopped, then it would be back to square one. Like nothing would change for me. Also, another way is limiting simple carbs and sugars in your diet. That can help you regulate your insulin, which is good for you. If you're a smoker, you need to avoid or minimize the amount of smoking you do because smoking has been linked to increasing your
Listen properly.
Androgenic. I'm Canva, guys. Androgenic levels. Androgenic is the hormones I was telling you for the male trait. Another thing you can do is take medication for diabetes. Also, that brings us back to the insulin. Another thing you can do is take fertility medication like FSH, that is follicle stimulating hormones. So some surgical methods you can do like laparoscopic ovarian drilling, which is, oh, I think I need to stay like this so that I don't mess up my eye. The laparoscopic ovarian drilling triggers ovulation by drilling into parts of your ovaries, which sounds crazy. There's also cyst aspiration, whereby they remove fluid from the cyst, and apparently after the surgery the cysts will just disappear by themselves, which is dope. And there is oophorectomy. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I will like put the name somewhere. Oophorectomy is basically removing your ovaries entirely, and then there is also removing your entire uterus. Doctors will tell you that is the more drastic measure. It's like extra drastic because it's not that deep, yo. I should have been doing both eyes simultaneously, because now what will I do here? Around August 2018, my mom mentions that there is a specialist in Parklands that I should go see and just find out like progress of my PCOS. And she told me that she had a friend who had gone to this doctor and was cured, and she was like, really couldn't hurt to just go see what he's gonna say. So around August, I went to go see this specialist. Did a lot of tests, and one of these tests happened to be an ultrasound. When the results of the ultrasound came out, they discovered that on top of the PCOS, I did have a couple of fibroids. I already knew I had fibroids. One of the times that I did go to the hospital, I did do an ultrasound, and they discovered that I just had 2 fibroids, and they're very, very small. There wasn't any need for concern. But when I did now this previous test in 2018, I now had 6 fibroids, and 2 of them were big. He was like, this is really big, you need to like remove these. I was scared, I was shook, because like it's gonna be an issue for when you do want to give birth. And the fact that you first had 2 and now you have 6, that means that they're growing, so that's also need for concern. He suggested that I should have the fibroids removed through surgery, obviously. And he also told me as they did the surgery for removing the fibroids, there is also something else they do. So the laparoscopic ovarian drilling, and also they were going to do a bit of the cyst aspiration, and this would also help me with my PCOS in that it would get rid of the PCOS entirely. So guys, I'm sorry, it's 4 o'clock and the cock is crowing, so like it's just gonna do that for a while. Initially I was very distraught, also a bit scared. I was going through a lot of emotions, and I needed some time to process the information I'd been told, as well as because the surgery wasn't going to be like cheap. It did cost a pretty penny. I don't know, I was just in a very, very weird mental space, and also going through some other things. I was in a relationship that ended around that time as well. I was just going through it, so I finally decided that I was going to go ahead with the surgery. And my mom then tells me she has a friend, again another one, who had gone to the hospital, and it was significantly cheaper than the hospital I was going to go to in Parklands. And also she said the doctors there were specialists in this matter. After hearing this, I wanted to know more. What could it hurt if I went there and just like met with a doctor and heard what they had to say? So that's what I decided to do, just to get a second opinion on my condition and stuff like that. The doctor I saw there was very, very helpful. I wish I could tell you guys his name. I don't know, maybe I might be sharing too much, but he's such a nice doctor. He explained my condition to me in a way that no other doctor ever has. On top of that, he was so patient. Initially I did just go there for consultation, and 2 hours later he literally broke down PCOS to me, everything about it, for like 2 hours. He didn't have to, but he did. I've never gone to see a gynecologist who was so okay with educating me about my condition. I'd never experienced that before, so I decided I was going to do the procedure in Mostly because of that doctor. I had to do some more tests. Before you go for surgery, there's some tests you have to do. Even though you had previously done other tests, they need to confirm for themselves so that things don't go south when you're ready, like on the operating table. So one of the tests I had to do was a pap smear. Substances from your cervix, they insert something up your vagina. Why would I say substances? Like they scrape a bit of the cells on your cervix basically, and they take it down for testing. My results came back. This was around my 32nd birthday. When my results came out, they discovered I had abnormal cells in my cervix. What that meant was that either I had cancer or my cells in my cervix were just acting a damn fool. And there's no way they could know other than first doing the surgery to remove the abnormal cells in my cervix, because they said if it was cancer, they would have to remove my entire uterus, so there would be no need to do double surgery. The first surgery to go remove my fibroids and also the drilling on my ovaries and stuff, and then I come again and remove the entire uterus if it was cancer. I had never been told such horrible news in my life. The off chance that I might have cancer was the most frightening thing. I have never ever been so afraid. I didn't even know how to human. I broke down, I cried, I prayed. I got into such a deep dark hole. I have bouts of depression. Most of the time I can manage it. In my 33 years of living, I have found coping mechanisms for when I have an episode. When they told me that I might have to remove my uterus, one of the biggest things to me is having kids of my own. I couldn't believe it. I know there are ways. I've always wanted to adopt. I've always known that in the end, wherever life takes me, I am going to adopt a child. Also, I did really want to experience childbirth and food cravings and all that, and I was so sad to think that that wouldn't happen for me. Like it made me so depressed. I literally just dug myself in a hole and I didn't want to see anyone. I stopped talking to people. I stopped playing with makeup. Like one of the things that I always used to do when I felt sad was like play with makeup, watch anime, and I would get out of whatever slump I was in. But this time that wasn't working. I even got like job offers during that time, and I would just be like, no. I would just pass the job offers to other makeup artists that I knew. You work and work and work, and then what? Nothing happens after that. Like that's where I was. I was so sad. And at this point, my cousin Tracy, bless her soul, they noticed that I kind of just disappeared from everyone. I stopped being around people. I stopped coming to family things. I would always use the excuse that like I have work or something, even though I really didn't. I was just home. So my cousin came to stay with me, and having her around had been such a great help for me, because first and foremost, Tracy cooks, like she throws down in the kitchen. So like I was eating so well. And also what I had done initially was I was told it could be this or it could be this, and so I just assumed it was the worst thing. She kind of helped me, or rather bring me to the realization that yes, it could be cancer, but why don't we deal with that diagnosis when we get there? Why don't we just take it one step at a time? Most basic thing, but I couldn't see. Honest to God, I couldn't see it. So what they do is they remove the infected cells. They just cut the entire thing out. And what the doctor told me, because it's fresh tissue or something like that, it grows back. It'll leave a scar. It's like when you cut yourself, the skin does go back together. It does mesh back together. So it's not a big deal. So I did go in for that surgery. They did cut out a part of my cervix. And like that was also like another traumatic thing on its own. TV glorifies it so much. You think that it's so cool and so peaceful and serious doctors. And well, yeah, there is a serious doctor, but it's something else, because I was awake during my surgery. They felt, first and foremost, I had too much alcohol in my system. I don't drink anymore, by the way. I stopped drinking. They just felt like they didn't need it, so they didn't put me under. They just gave me numbing injections in my spine. So after the numbing injection, they cut out the stuff, and then I was off to healing and waiting for the diagnosis, and that was rigorous as hell. Anytime you have an injection in your spine, especially if you're heavy, it messes up. I couldn't walk for around a month. My back would hurt so much, my legs would hurt. Getting around, doing things was like I would get dizzy. They told me it was going to be a minor surgery, but like the healing for that minor surgery was crazy to me. After I properly healed and I managed to go back, I think I went for my results after like 3 months. Luckily, I did not have cancer. I just had a really bad infection. Had the infection and then like didn't get checked, and then that was over. I could get to having my fibroids removed and also the cysts in my ovaries, and I couldn't do it. Oh my god, I've been sitting here talking and now I'm done with this story and I'm not even done with my makeup. Let me do my liner and I'm going to be right back. I decided to get healthy the natural way, lose the weight, give myself a fighting chance. Not just for the PCOS, but also because I break so many promises to myself, and if I tell someone I'm going to do something for them, I will. But if I tell myself I'm going to do something for myself, then I procrastinate so badly. I really want to have a healthier mindset, a healthier body, and a kind of outlook of how I see myself. So, and that's what I decided to do. So I finished what I was talking about before I finished my makeup. I don't know how people time their talk throughs with such poise that you finish your makeup as you finish your talk through. I don't know how people do that. So I'm gonna go and finish my makeup so I can come back and like wind down the video. So I'll see you guys in a bit. This is the finished look. I don't know why it came out so disco, but it's fine. I kind of dig it, but it wasn't really the point of this entire video. The point of this video was to like let you guys know where I have been for an entire year. I hope it didn't come out as a boohoo, look at me, I've been through so much. I know there's some people who went through way worse than I did, but it doesn't negate the fact of how heavy what I experienced was to me. I didn't make this video so that you can feel sorry for me or you can feel bad for me. I made it so hopefully to educate some people on PCOS. I actually don't know if I educated anything. I just feel like I just gave out some random facts about what it was and what I had been like dealing with. I pray that something cohesive came out of it. I will try to edit cohesiveness into the just mishmash of sentences that I just threw together. I don't know, this is really hard for me. This was me putting myself out there and just trying to be open and transparent with you guys. So I genuinely hope that came across. So yeah, that's the end of this video, overexposed ass video. The craziest thing is I actually have been filming videos. It wasn't like the entire year that I was feeling really shitty. There were some times when I felt really good and then something would happen and then I would feel really bad. But the times that I did feel really good, I did manage to sit down and film some videos. I filmed around 20 videos. A lot of these videos I'm gonna trash because they're very not relevant anymore, so I don't feel the need to share them. But some of those videos you will get to see, especially after these. I'll try do new videos and old videos. I am out in the middle of nowhere right now, so I don't know what new content I could do with the exception of makeup looks. And since my channel started with makeup looks, I think I will start with makeup looks. It's just that I need to figure out where to film. I've never filmed here before, so it's going to be a learning experience for me. I'm actually excited for that. So thank you guys for watching and for sticking with me through this blended mishmash of information that I was just spouting. I hope some of it was cohesive and helpful to you. And yeah, see you all in my next one.